Hello, hello, hello. Oh man, I haven't gone live in a long time. I've been missing you guys. I'm excited to go through this information with you today. There are some big, big stories, so I'm excited to break each of them down for you and give you my thoughts. And I would love, love, love your feedback. So let's go ahead and jump into tonight's broadcast. The US Supreme Court gives a big hint on how they are leaning in the Donald Trump presidential immunity hearing. Trump continues to gain ground on President Joe Biden as the media tries to convince people that Joe Biden is the most popularly elected president in US history. Nancy Pelosi says if Biden stays in power, then Democrats will abolish the filibuster in the Senate and make abortion legal forever. And Donald Trump says Hamas isn't willing to swap prisoners anymore because sadly, most of them are likely dead. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. All right. Now, over the weekend, President Joe Biden cracked some fun at himself and former President Donald Trump during the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner. In an effort to downplay concerns, Biden stated, "It's been a year since I've delivered this speech, and my wife Jill, who is with me tonight, was worried how I do. I told her, 'Don't worry, it's just like riding a bike.' She said, 'That's what I'm worried about.'" Now, I've got to give credit. Biden's writers do a good job of minimizing his disabilities, right? Remember, he fell off of a bike. He's fallen up the stairs, down the stairs, on stairs, next to stairs. Now, later, Biden cracked another joke where he said, "Of course, the 2024 election is in full swing. And yes, age is an issue. I'm a grown man running against a 6-year-old. Well, I feel great, and I've always done well in the 13 original colonies." So again, he's taking a crack at himself, trying to not make himself sound so old, and also that Donald Trump is an impetuous child who he needs to destroy or put in his place. Now, according to a new poll from CNN, former President Donald Trump currently has a record lead over President Joe Biden. When third party candidates are removed from the equation, Donald Trump still leads Joe Biden by an astonishing 6 points. When they are factored in, his lead jumps to 9 points. So RFK Jr. and Cornel West and Jill Stein being in the race only makes things better for Donald Trump, but on his own, he's still dominating Joe Biden. Now, CNN polling director Jennifer Agiesta stated, "In the coming rematch, opinions about the first term of each man vying for a second 4 years in the White House now appear to work in Trump's favor, with most Americans saying that, looking back, Trump's term as president was a success, while a broad majority say Biden has so far been a failure." Now, honestly, I'm shocked that CNN, who usually covers for Joe Biden, is actually promoting Donald Trump as the person likely to win. I'm always a little skeptical when they do something like that, but maybe it's just that they can't hide it anymore. But many people, just looking at the economy, their job, their income, how far a dollar goes, what they can buy, they're all looking back with fond nostalgia for the Trump years when there was peace and low inflation and low interest rates. Life was just simply more livable and affordable under Donald J. Trump. Now, I have a question for you, and I definitely want to hear from you guys. Biden supposedly got more ballots than any other president in American history. Democrats say this means he's very popular, yet he has the lowest approval rating in 7 decades. How does the president with the most ballots have the lowest approval rating? Like, what am I missing? How did the guy who got a record 81 million ballots become the most unpopular president in 70 years, in 7 decades? Because he's a cheater, because the dead people like him, because he's a liar, cheat, lied, rigged. All right, well, you bring out a good point. He got more ballots, but that doesn't mean he got more votes. Anyway, just think about it. On paper, 81 million ballots, the most popular president to ever grace the White House, and yet he's the most unpopular among the people. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. Now, as Trump arguably awaits his most important ruling from the Supreme Court, I wanted to highlight a recent statement made by Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, which gives insight into how he's thinking. In his remarks last week, Kavanaugh seemed to argue that holding a president accountable was less important than allowing the president to do his duties. I'll say that again. It's less important that you hold him accountable than that he is allowed unfettered access to do his or her job, is what he is saying. Now, to Kavanaugh, the prospect of long-term revenge targeting by prosecutors is terrifying. Kavanaugh stated, it's going to cycle back and be used against the current president or the next president and the next president and the next president. So basically, listen, if Trump gets back in, Trump's going to go after Joe Biden. Trump's going to go after Barack Obama. But if they stay in, they're going to continue to go after Trump. And you watch, they won't go after Obama or George Bush. So really, this whole thing is just about getting Donald Trump. But that's what Kavanaugh, who's trying to think further in the future beyond Donald Trump, is saying, wait a minute, the country will spin out of control if a president doesn't have the authority to make hard decisions, like life-threatening decisions, such as war, attacking an enemy, things like that. But how do you think the Supreme Court is going to rule on the presidential immunity question? I think they will largely uphold it. It might be 5-4 or 6-3. We will see. Now, I thought this was interesting. Just today, Senator Mitch McConnell said he doesn't think Donald Trump deserves to be given immunity. McConnell really is a rhino. I mean, how did Republicans let this guy stay in office for so long? I mean, he really just, he hates his own party. He hates Trump. He hates all the good that Republicans have done. He loves endless war. He loves just giving China jobs. It's crazy. All right, now, a man who threatened presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy has been arrested and sentenced to 5 years in jail and a $250,000 fine. This guy was stupid enough to actually text the Vivek Ramaswamy campaign saying that they wanted to shoot Vivek and attend his funeral. Now, the message was significantly more graphic than what I just shared with you, but what a dummy. Like, hello, you got a paper trail right to your cell phone? I guess stupid is as stupid does, right? All right, now this is coming out of Politico, which normally covers for Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and James Biden and Jill Biden, all the Bidens. An emerging report from Politico has claimed that President Biden's brother, Jim Biden, or James, was in bed with officials from Qatar. While this doesn't mean that President Biden was compromised, it is a very worrying story that was reportedly made from leveraging the Biden name. Now, as proof of this link came out, the outlet cried in 2017 that the Bidens were using their name to officially get ahead and make money. It's been reported my family could provide a wealth of introductions and business opportunities at the highest level that I believe would be worthy of the interest of His Excellency. On behalf of the Biden family, I welcome your interest here. Now, how about Hunter and Jim Biden literally just milking that name and that authority, that Joe Biden cash cow, in order to make tens of millions of dollars off of Joe Biden? But he doesn't remember any of it, right? So anyway, I guess Jim Biden, was literally telling His Excellency of Qatar, "Hey, there's a lot that we could do for your family. I'm just saying, we have a lot of authority. The Biden name is really, really powerful." Representative Nancy Pelosi has just given pro-life Republicans an easy choice in 2024. While Trump may not be as pro-life as some want, the alternative that Pelosi gave would be a worst-case scenario. During an interview with MSNBC, Nancy Pelosi claimed that if Biden retains power, the Senate, will remove the filibuster rule. What this means is, instead of needing 60 votes to bring abortion back, Democrats would only need 51. Pelosi stated, "We can enshrine into law Roe v. Wade. We won't need 60 votes. We'll only need 50 plus our one," meaning Kamala Harris. So basically, their plan is to win the presidency, remove the filibuster, and then make it legal for women to get abortions all the way up until the 9th month. That's their plan, right? Now, remember, it's a good plan, because 25% of Democrats only vote. The only reason that they vote, whether in the mail or for their relatives or at the ballot box, is for abortion. So they have nothing else to go on. And this is why Nancy Pelosi is now out using her megaphone to remind women, "We will help you get an abortion. We will help you. We will help you." All right, so they want to get rid of the filibuster. If he wins, they say they want to pack the Supreme Court. Anytime that there's any resistance, they want to get rid of it, call it racist, misogynistic, xenophobic, whatever it is, just so that they can get whatever they want. I mean, they don't have to go to all those lengths. All they have to do is have Mike Johnson as Speaker of the House, and they'll get whatever they want. He doesn't even write new bills. He just rubber stamps the old Nancy Pelosi bill and runs it through. That's why every single Democrat votes for his bills. He's literally the most popular Speaker of the House among Democrats. All right. Ukraine is grateful for $61 billion. And now it's not even been a week. They're already saying it's not enough. Americans are not doing enough. You're not giving enough money. You're not giving enough attention. You're not giving enough sympathy. You're not giving enough weapons. This is what they're saying. A bipartisan effort was carried out to get Ukraine $61 billion, more money than the entire budget of the U.S. Marines. And with that finalized, Biden and Zelensky are already saying it's not enough money, and they need to start thinking about the next package. That's the last thing I want to do, is think about Biden's package. But unlike previous packages, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said the next one needs to be 10 years worth of money. Now, it's obvious that he thinks Donald Trump is about to become president of the United States of America. And so while he has time, he and Biden are trying to create a new law that a new president cannot undo the commitment and the financial resources given to the country of Ukraine. So Biden and Zelensky are now having these private meetings about, how do we get you not a couple months worth of money, but 10 years worth of money. 10 years, 120 months of money that Trump cannot undo, is what they're trying to do. Now, if this happens, this also cuts the legs out from Donald Trump trying to end the war and bring peace to Russia and peace to Ukraine so that Ukraine can start to rebuild. But that's not what they want. Let me ask you guys in the chat, do you want your taxpayer money to go to Ukraine for the next 10 years? If you do, I want you to type Y, the letter Y. And if you don't, I want you to do no or the letter N. I'm a big no. I want them to seek for peace. I am sick and tired of reporting on dead Ukrainians and dead Russians. No, 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 hell no, 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 no. And okay. Exactly. 10 years, you guys. They're trying to get 10 years of money. That's literally the next 2 terms of the US president plus half of one. Like that could literally be 3 different presidents. And they're trying to write into law that Zelensky, who says this is to protect democracy, but he won't even hold an election so that he can stay in power, is now saying, you Americans didn't give us enough money. We want 10 years worth of money. You can Google this. I'm not making this stuff up. Someone says he's a weasel. He is a weasel. All right. I mean, think about this. We spent $3 trillion in Afghanistan and got nothing for it. Absolutely nothing. We spent $9 trillion in Iraq and got nothing for it. I mean, what is the point of these endless wars? Money for 10 years? I'll tell you what the point of these are. It's why they're trying to have Julian Assange killed. He said they don't want these wars to end. They want endless wars because it means endless amounts of taxpayer money to the military-industrial complex. That's why they want 10 years worth of money. Think about it. Who benefits the most if they go to war? It's not Ukraine. It's not Biden. It's the military-industrial complex, the number one donors to all politicians. So, I mean, it is crazy what they are trying to do. In this present moment, Ukraine has continued to call for more weapons and defense systems. In an effort to scale up success on the ground, Germany has announced that they are trying to build a new type of Leopard tank. But honestly, like, unless you have robots driving it, what's the point? They just get blown up within a couple of days. Like, Poland sent tanks, boom, blown up. America sends tanks, boom, blown up. Patriot missile systems, boom, blown up. Like, this war is never going to end with Ukraine winning. We've given them $200 billion. They've lost 500,000 soldiers. They've lost half of their country's population. They've lost 20% of their land mass. And the Russian Federation army is 15% bigger. So you do the math. It brings me no joy to share this information. I'm just telling you the truth. This whole thing is about milking our teats for money so that they can give it to the military-industrial congressional complex. Endless wars create endless money. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there will be some cool new technology. You know, maybe Lockheed Martin will finally give up that UFO technology they've been hiding from us, right? All right. Now, in an address to the World Economic Forum, you know, the billionaires in Davos that try to run the planet without being elected. Well, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called for Hamas to accept a new hostage release proposal. Blinken stated Hamas has before it a proposal that is extraordinarily extraordinarily generous on the part of Israel. And he's been very critical of Israel and the way they've gone about it. And he's now saying this is an extraordinarily generous package. Take it, Hamas. Hamas, you got to take it. However, President Donald Trump intervened and commented on the proposal and said that it's not possible for Hamas to take this generous deal because most likely the hostages they say they're holding are dead. I mean, that is so sad, right? But think about it. You just keep telling Netanyahu and these families in America, yeah, we'll hand these people over. We'll hand them over. Sadly, I think Trump's right. I don't think they're alive anymore. They're literally using ghosts and people's hopes and fears in order to keep this war going. And what about all of these riots on campuses, right? Like gays for Palestine. Like literally, they would just murder you in the first day. Like women for Palestine. Yeah, where you'll be subjugated. It's crazy. You cannot negotiate with Hamas. All right. I mean, think about this. The US military, we're literally sending supplies, food, water, medical, doctors, the military to build this pier from Gaza out into the Mediterranean Ocean. And what did they do? They literally attacked the US military for trying to bring their people supplies. All right, it seems every day I uncover more and more collusion between Biden and those persecuting Donald Trump. However, today, an OnlyFans model has actually ratted Joe Biden out as a liar and for buying good publicity. OnlyFans creator Farah Khalidi claims she was paid for spreading political propaganda on behalf of the Biden administration. This is according to the New York Post. An OnlyFans creator and a TikTok influencer alleges she was compensated to disseminate political propaganda for Joe Biden on social media and then to conceal the advertising dollars. Farah Khalid reported that she was recruited to promote then Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson across her social media following after President Biden nominated her to the Supreme Court. I was engaging in outright political propaganda, she says. I was lying to my own people for a paycheck, she says. So this huge influencer was being instructed by the White House to say good things about Biden, his presidency, his Supreme Court nomination, and then was told, don't tell anyone, never mention that we paid you, and don't identify this as paid content since it's more of an idea than a product. It really makes me wonder how many other people on social media are being paid by Joe Biden to lie to them, to lie to their fans. I'll tell you guys a story. I don't know if I've ever told this, but this is an absolutely true story. There was a vaccine company during the lockdown that offered me $30,000 to tell you to get a certain miracle shot that I didn't believe in. They said, we don't even care that you didn't get the shot. We just want you to tell your people who you have influence over that they should get the shot. Now, of course, I never did that. That would be wrong. And I love and respect you. So I would not do that. And I can't say the name of the company, but it starts with a f sound. Actually, that might give it away. It ends with Iser. So anyway, they wanted to give me $30,000 to tell you guys to get this experimental vaccine. What a crock of crap. I told them, you guys can take that and shove it up your butts. All right, now speaking of miracle vaccines, AstraZeneca admitted in court that their safe and effective miracle shot is actually killing people. It's causing strokes and heart attacks and giving people blood clots, like massive, long, gross blood clots that they cannot explain. It's almost like the conspiracy theorists who used to call this the clot shot were actually right. I guess that makes 169 rights so far. Now, I'm certain that Moderna and Pfizer would never lie to us, use fake data, remove dead people from their studies, pay people to cover up injuries, pay people on social media to lie and encourage their fans to get the shot. I'm almost certain that would never happen. But you guys can Google it. AstraZeneca admits they're killing people and that their shot causes heart attacks, strokes, blood clots, and more. What a freaking scam. All right, that's my update for today. The US government's terrible. I love my country, but I'm disappointed in my government. I love you guys. Hopefully, you love this channel and all the research that I put into bringing you guys the truth every single day about what's really going on in the country and the world. Oh, yes, Die Suddenly. Yeah, that was a great documentary. Don't look that up on Twitter. You'll actually see people dying. It's really, really sad. Whew. All right. Hey, thank you guys so much. I want to remind you that you are amazing. I really, really appreciate you stopping by. Please give this video a like because it tells YouTube to share it with others. It's the only way that I can get past their algorithm and get views. So I really appreciate that. I love you guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can be a part of our 1.5 million community of amazing truth seekers. Hey, thanks so much. I'm going to go be with my family. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you on the next video.